Hello, my name's Paul Weinberg. Welcome to UHoops.net, a not-for-profit organization promoting basketball techniques and fundamentals to student athletes. At UHoops.net, the focus is on you, the individual basketball player, within the context of team play. Become the best player you can be, achieve your goals, and help your team win more games. This is Free Throw Shooting Boot Camp and is designed to make you a better free throw shooter. We're going to break down free throw shooting into 3 separate components. The first component is balance and is the most important aspect of free throw shooting. The second component is rhythm, and it relates to your motion and timing throughout the entire free throw shooting process. The third component is the mechanical aspect of shooting the basketball. Balance, rhythm, shoot. Balance, rhythm, shoot. There are 2 other major factors, one tangible and one intangible. The tangible factor is your positioning of the basketball from the time the ref gives it to you through the completion of your shot. The intangible factor is your mental state of mind at the free throw line. Both of these are factors that you can control. Other factors, such as tight rims or a distorted perspective, maybe because you're playing in a large arena for the first time all season, are factors you cannot control, but that need to be dealt with before game time. One very important point, no 2 players shoot free throws exactly alike, and there's more than one good free throw shooter in the world. So by definition, personal style plays a very important role. Some of you are already very good free throw shooters. Maybe you want to get to the next level. So the goal here isn't necessarily to change your shot, but to incorporate certain attributes of free throw shooting into what you're already doing. If you're shooting 60 or 65% from the line, which a lot of you are, there is room for substantial improvement, but it takes practice, a lot of practice. This is a learned skill where repetitiveness is the key to developing a consistent approach. If you're a high school basketball player, you should be shooting a minimum of 50 free throws just about every day of the year. The difference between a 60% free throw shooter and an 80% free throw shooter is that the 80% free throw shooter has a consistent balance and rhythm from the line. I'd like to take a moment now to talk about our charitable organization. Every day in America, hundreds of thousands of kids and adults play pickup basketball at neighborhood parks. Unfortunately, many of the basketball hoops at these parks are in disrepair and do not have nets. Our mission is to provide public basketball courts around the U.S. with brand new high-quality nets. We want to work with other organizations that are also committed to cleaning up and renovating neighborhood basketball courts, making for a better basketball experience and a safer place for kids to play. Our name, UHoops.net, is a play on the words Your Hoops Net. If your hoops net at your neighborhood park is missing or torn, please let us know by email at weneednets@UHoops.net. That's weneednets@UHoops.net. We intend to make donations to the V Foundation for Cancer Research. The V Foundation for Cancer Research is a charitable foundation that is closely connected with amateur basketball. Cancer affects just about everyone in some way, and we look forward to supporting their initiatives to find a cure. UHoops.net is a recognized 501c3 charitable organization, and as such depends upon donations from the public in order to achieve its goals. Please visit us at www.uhoops.net for more information. Free throw shooting is a crucial aspect of basketball. During the course of a season, a lot of points and possessions are determined at the free throw line. Very often, a team's ability or lack of ability to make free throws is the difference between winning and losing games or even championships. Consider that a typical high school basketball team shoots around 350 free throws in a season. The difference between shooting 60% as a team or 70% as a team is 35 points. That's a lot of points, certainly enough to turn some losses into wins. Whatever your team's free throw shooting percentage, the point is that it's very important to maximize your points per possession by making the shots when you and your teammates step to the free throw line. So let's take a closer look at balance, rhythm, shoot. When we talk about balance, rhythm, shoot, it's your balance and rhythm that lead to the mechanical aspect of your shot. Your trajectory and rotation on the basketball comes from your legs and comes from your core, not from over-rotating the ball from your shot. Balance begins with your feet. Your front foot should be about an inch off the line. The last thing you want at the foul line is a lane violation. For those of you that have both feet on the line, if you're successful, you're making your free throws, stick with it. But if you're not, you're going to have more of an athletic stance by moving your left foot back, opposite for lefties. Remember, it's personal style. Whatever's comfortable for you. Your balance will set up your rhythm that will lead into the mechanical aspect of the shot. And I end the shot on the balls of my feet. Basketball is played on the balls of your feet. As soon as you're flat-footed, you're beat at the free throw line, offensively or defensively. You don't shoot the ball with your arm. This is mechanical, and we'll talk about that very soon. You shoot the ball with your legs and with your core. If my legs are completely locked, what happens? It becomes all arm. Everyone's going to bend their legs a little more, a little less. You want to develop a consistent approach at the free throw line. We talked about personal style. A lot of people shoot free throws differently, but they do things consistently. Find something that works for you and stick with it. The key to free throw shooting is shooting the ball straight. To do that, you need to focus on the center of the front of the rim. It's much easier to adjust distance than left to right. Most of your shots are not going to be swishes. The ball's going to hit the rim. So what you need to have is have a soft enough shot when it hits the rim, it falls into the basket. What's very important is to have a continual motion through the shot. Even at the college level, I see players that will have good balance, good rhythm, but then they'll stop. Once you stop your motion, you now depend on your arm to shoot the basketball. Let's talk about the final component of balance, rhythm, shoot, shooting the basketball. You should shoot the basketball how your arm naturally comes up. If you stand with your arms to your side and you bring your hand up, that's where you're shooting the ball from. For me, it's about 4 or 5 inches over the top of my head. There are two ways to shoot the basketball. Overhead or kind of a push shot. There is another way to shoot the basketball, and that's underhanded. If you want to learn to shoot the ball underhanded, go to YouTube, and Rick Barry, the best underhanded free throw shooter, has a video on that. But most of you are not going to shoot the ball underhanded. You're going to shoot the ball over your head, or a lot of you, especially the smaller players, are going to use kind of a push shot, which is fine. You can shoot the ball like that. One of the best free throw shooters in NBA history, a small guard named Calvin Murphy, who was an 89% lifetime free throw shooter, shot the ball like this. There's nothing wrong with kind of pushing the basketball. You'll see guys in the NBA do it. I shoot the ball overhead because I practiced it a lot. You want to follow through so your fingers, your wrist almost snaps. Not to the point where it's not natural. The ball rotates off of these two fingers. If you don't follow through, your shot's going to be flatter, and you're not going to have the trajectory on the shot that you need. So follow through is extremely important. You want to shoot the basketball from right here. Well, I see a lot of players that are spinning the ball here, and then they have to bring the ball here. And what's going to happen is the ball's going to end up missing left or right. Now, you may be a 70% free throw shooter doing all this Harlem Globetrotter stuff, but you may be an 80 or an 85% free throw shooter. If you stand here, maybe dribble the ball, but keeping the ball in the natural position of where you're going to shoot it. This is a Wilson Evolution regulation size basketball, 29.5 inches circumference with a diameter of 9.39 inches. I like to have my hands on the seams of the basketball because it gives control. There's a little space in between the ball and my palm. You want to control the ball with your fingers. I have very small hands, but I can still control the ball with my fingers. We talked about where you're aiming for, and I said that you want to look at the front of the rim. The danger is that you hit what you're aiming for, and you do not want to leave the ball short. You kind of want to drop the basketball over the front of the rim. That shot had good trajectory, I felt good, and I ended up getting a swish out of it. It's common knowledge that a free throw shot is 15 feet, but let's break it down a little farther so you have a better understanding of the distance. It's 15 feet from the backboard to the free throw line. If you were to draw an imaginary line down from the backboard, that would be 15 feet away from the free throw line. But the rim is 18 inches in diameter and has a 6-inch base. 18 inches and 6 inches, 24 inches. So the shot from the free throw line to the front of the rim is 13 feet. We talked about the ball having a diameter of 9.39 inches. So if the ball went exactly through the basket, a perfect swish, you would have about 4 1/3 inches to either side. You practice at home in your gym, and then you go to a really big arena, and what happens? You're like, oh my God, the basket seems 25 feet away. This place is humongous. If you practice outside, you will have a much better perspective because outside is very expansive, and that will teach you to focus on that rim. So when you do get into these large gyms, take a bunch of free throws before the game, concentrate on nothing but the rim. Let's talk about why big men tend to struggle from the free throw line. A great free throw shooter for a big guy, Dirk Nowitzki, who's a 90% free throw shooter and he's 7 feet tall. I wanted to compare his shot to my shot and the distance to the basket. With the help of a local high school math teacher, we used the Pythagorean theorem to determine how far it was from me compared to Dirk Nowitzki shooting the basketball to the middle of the net. I shoot the basketball from about 70 inches off the floor. Dirk Nowitzki shoots the basketball from about 92 inches off the floor. And surprisingly, there was only a 5-inch difference to the basket. It was 172.5 inches for me and 167.5 inches for Dirk Nowitzki. The perspective of the basket for a 7-footer contributes to their struggles from the free throw line. They tend to push the ball instead of shoot the ball with balanced rhythm shoot as Dirk Nowitzki does. For the bigger players, you guys that are 6'8", 6'9", 6'10", try to have your weight straight up and down, even a little bit back, and work on balanced rhythm shoot. Shaquille O'Neal, for how great of an NBA player he was, never had proper balance and rhythm at the free throw line. He would be lean forward, his hands were so big that he would almost be holding the ball and just pushing it and throwing it and would constantly shoot line drives. We've been talking a lot about making shots. Let's talk about when you have to miss a shot on purpose. You're down by 3 with 1.5 seconds left to go in the game, and you're on the line for 2 shots. You have to make the first shot. 1.5 seconds left. You're down by 2. The fans are going crazy. All the coaches are yelling. What are you going to do? Here's what I want you to do. I want you to step back about a foot. Long shots create long rebounds. I don't want you to do anything fancy with trying to throw the ball at the rim. Shoot the basketball, but shoot it long. Do balanced rhythm shoot, but kind of over-rotate the ball. So maybe bend your legs a little longer. I'm going to miss this shot. Balanced rhythm shoot, over-rotate the ball towards the back of the rim. Perfect. Now guys on the block, there's a 1.5 seconds left to go in the game. The refs are probably not going to call the whistle. I'm not saying barrel over the guys, but you're not going to get an over the back. You need to be aggressive, grab the basketball, and go right back up and tie the game. Coaches, put your best leapers in there to get the basketball. Here's what you need to understand. You control when you shoot the free throw. The ref's job is to move the game along. He's going to want you to get to the line immediately. Let's say you just took the ball to the hoop and you got pounded. You get up, you're dizzy, you're tired. You don't have to go directly to the free throw line immediately. You can go take your time, go to the back of the top of the key, turn around, control that. Don't let the ref dictate when you shoot the basketball. Once you start developing consistency in your free throw shooting from using balanced rhythm shoot, you're gonna see your free throw percentage going up. Everyone's got a different style. We've been driving this point home. I know a lot of you guys and girls watch basketball on TV. You watch Kobe Bryant, you watch LeBron James. What you need to understand is a player like Kobe or LeBron can go to the line with their eyes closed and their legs crossed and make a lot of free throws. They're great basketball players. They're the best basketball players in the world. Try not to emulate them. Try to develop your own style using balanced rhythm shoot, and you'll become a successful free throw shooter. The interesting concept about free throw shooting is that it's the only time in the game where all players are equals. Everyone gets to stand 13 feet away from the front of the rim with no one guarding them. Night and day from the rest of the game, where size and athletic ability play a major role in what a player does or doesn't do on the floor. This is an opportunity for you to add huge value to your team. If you want to be on the floor at the end of the game, improve your free throw shooting. I want everyone watching this video to increase their free throw shooting percentage by 10 points. Not by 10%, but by 10 points. If you're a 55% free throw shooter, I want you to shoot 65%. If you're a 60% free throw shooter, I want you to shoot 70%. That's a big increase, I know. But for those of you shooting under 70%, I believe you can improve rather quickly with focus and practice. For those of you already shooting 75% or better, adding 10 percentage points will be more difficult to attain. Obviously, a 90% free throw shooter isn't going to shoot 100%. But unless you're shooting 85%, you can improve to some degree. This is what I want you to conceptualize. Say you made 60 out of 100 free throws last season. You're a 60% shooter. You missed 40 out of 100 shots. If you can improve to the point where you make 10 out of the 40 shots that you missed, you're a 70% free throw shooter. Make 20 out of the 40 that you missed, and you're an 80% free throw shooter. But it doesn't happen by magic. First, you need to know why you missed the 40 shots. For example, say on 25 of the 40 misses, the ball rotated off your wrong finger. Now you have something to work on. Coaches, please have someone on the bench track why the player missed the free throws and see if a discernible pattern develops. Players, concentrate on balance, rhythm, shoot, and incorporate it into what works best for you. It's important to understand that the better your team can shoot from the free throw line, the more the defense will give you, and vice versa. If your team can't shoot free throws well, it allows the defense to be that much more aggressive, potentially hindering your offensive schemes and changing the outcome of the game. So the importance of free throw shooting cannot be overemphasized. Coaches, when looking at a player's free throw shooting percentage, try to break it down. What does the player shoot in one-on-one situations? What does the player shoot in the first half, in the second half, in close games, in blowouts? If a 70% overall free throw shooter only makes 40% of the front end of his or her one-on-ones, the 70% number becomes non-representative of what the player is doing for your team from the free throw line. Thank you very much for watching our free throw shooting video. We look forward to presenting more basketball instructional videos in the near future. Special thanks to Highland Park Health and Fitness and manager Julie Polovic for the use of their facilities, and to Jim King, whose basketball camp I attended every summer as a young player. Students, remember, school comes before basketball. Study hard, play hard, and become the best player you can be. On behalf of UHoops.net, again, thank you very much for watching.